Ciao. What's up, everybody? So, I'm gonna do a little bit of the face camera because we've been doing a lot of no face camera. So let's shoot some face camera. As you can see, Hawaiian shirt back in action. Nothing wrong with that. Partly because I didn't iron any of my black shirts. That's pretty much my go-to on the shirts now. But yeah, let's talk about what Christmas is like in Saigon. You probably won't be surprised, but let's cover it anyway. So let's stop looking at my ugly fat mug and look at all the beautiful people in Quinway Walking Street. Okay, so first things first, it's not big here at all yet. I don't think it ever will be. The only people that push Christmas here are like stores. Shit, we got major wind. So when you have major wind, you go like this. You use your back, then you walk backwards, and you block the wind. Because this wind isn't going to last forever. So even when you have a muffler on and you go head in the wind, it still messes with the audio. So yeah, just walk backwards till the wind is over. It's pretty easy, right? So yeah, the big push for Christmas here is by, department stores, malls, shopping organizations, food outlets, things that can make business pretty much kind of the same it is everywhere, to be honest with you. The only people I see really into Christmas here are expats that live here. So I think we're almost over the wind a little bit. Our expats that live here, of course, they're going to still celebrate their holiday, as to be expected. I haven't done Christmas in a long time. I don't know, 5-7 years, maybe longer. I used to make food. It slowly deteriorated, like in my mid to late 20s. I would make, because me and my sister both lived in LA, I would make Christmas dinner and we would kind of buy gifts for each other, and then that faded away, and then yeah, it just went to nothing. And that's kind of how I am now with holidays. For the most part, they're just cash grabs, and guess what? You don't have to eat turkey at Thanksgiving. You can have a steak. You can eat whatever food you want. Mind blown, right? Oh, there's a 718 Boxster. I still say, even though that's just the Boxster, so you're talking the base model Porsche, I'd still say 130 grand probably here, 150. Crazy, right? Double the price. I don't know what a 718 Boxster goes for. I almost bought a Boxster in LA years ago because you can get them real cheap. But I just hate the motor. I'm not into it. Boxster motors, they're not for me. They're too costly. They're not that efficient. The design is stupid. People love Boxster motors too. Subaru gang loves them. Same way I don't like a rotary. Like a rotary sounds really cool, but it's not very efficient for a motor. I mean, the Wankel is not the greatest designed motor. So yeah, Christmas isn't particularly that big of a deal here. The kids more so will mess with it more than the adults. Goddamn wind. It's okay, we can walk backwards. I have no problem walking backwards. Hopefully we got another 6 minutes out of this battery. Come on, battery, you can do it. And then I can switch to one more. But yeah, I don't think me and Wayne will get anything for each other for Christmas. Maybe something little. And there'll be no special dinner. Or maybe we'll have steak. I'll have a steak tomorrow, but she'll want seafood. So she'll have seafood. Maybe we'll get a lobster or two and have surf and turf. Lobster's really good here. But yeah, as you can see, it's really these businesses, like right here, Xmas Love. It's any kind of shopping that's really pushing the agenda for Christmas here. It's not really anything else. There's more people out here than normal, just by a little bit. I'd say at this time there's probably, 20%, 30% more people in Windway Walking Street. But yeah, I figured you guys would be kind of curious on how Christmas is. I'm sure you can get a Christmas dinner plate at I know my buddy over at Soul Burger, they do a Thanksgiving plate. So I'm pretty sure that they probably do a Christmas plate too. So if you want to have like a Christmas or Thanksgiving meal. There's plenty of Western style restaurants here that offer that, so you don't have to cook all that stuff at home. And a lot of you aren't going to have an oven either. It's very difficult to get an oven in Saigon. I'd say D2 and Golden River and Millennium are the only two buildings I saw in D1 that had an oven. There could be others, and sure, you could get one installed, but adding money into an apartment, someone else's apartment, I don't think that you don't own, is probably never really a good idea. Also, D2 had quite a few oven apartments because that's like the mecca of expats. I just don't like the location of D2, so that's why D2 has never really been for me. Even if it was awesome, D2, its location for me is just not good for what I do. I film a lot of my content in District 1. You know, Winnie works on Windway Walking Street. It wouldn't make a lot of sense to take and make her commute a real long commute every day. And I live by the philosophy, as a lot of successful people think, more than a 15-minute commute, fucking win. More than a 15-minute commute, you're wasting precious time out of your life. You could be doing other things with that time than doing a commute. These girls got all shy all of a sudden. I've seen so many people fall on these. Just like the scootards, we call them scootards before I left Venice Beach. But Venice Beach is where those scooters, the electric scooters, were actually launched ahead of the whole world. Bird actually launched their first 5 scooters ever in front of my apartment when I was on Venice Beach. And no one would go up to them. They didn't understand it. People would walk up to it and think that it was like some kind of thing to get shit stolen. Like a police thing for getting stolen. I was one of the first people to use the electric scooter, the Bird scooter. And then, of course, Lime came and all the other ones. But Bird and Lime were the first 2 electric scooters. And I used to love the Bird. For the first 3 months when no one used it, I would just glide around everywhere. And then as they put more and more out, they started putting all these restrictions on it where you could use it. People would just leave them everywhere. By the time I left, and any time when you would walk a block on Venice Beach, you would walk 1 block and you would see no less than 50 to 100 electric scooters laying in the middle of the sidewalk, thrown in the middle of the back alley, because it was all tourists using them and they didn't give a shit. So once it ran out of batteries, it became a nuisance. While I do think it's a pivotal I'm getting a tangent off our topic, but it's okay. While I think it's a good pivotal next technology, I don't think the infrastructure is there for you have to build separate roads for these electric scooters. They go too fast. Dude, I saw arms break, I saw legs break, I saw hips broken. After a while, I got so used to the noise of the electric scooter crash. I could be walking on like the other side of Speedway. I could be on the main boardwalk and could hear on Speedway when I'd hear a certain noise, I'd be like, oh, it's a scooter crash. And sure enough, every time. I mean, I saw old dudes get fucked up. I saw an old dude break his arm, break his leg, both on the same side, and fucking get huge road rash like on that same arm and on his head because he was bald. So the infrastructure needs to be in play. There needs to be more enforcement of 18 plus. But let's get off of that. My kings and queens over 18. Let's get off of that tangent. Keep them high and tight. And let's talk about what the video is about. So Christmas. Christmas here is, like I've said, it's no one's dressed up. I saw a few expats at this mall. I tried to film in Santa Claus hats, no mask on. I have no mask on, and everybody gets all up in arms about no mask. But many people don't wear a mask on Windway here because we're not next to each other. I'm not within 6 feet of anyone. There's no need to wear a mask if you're not within. If you're not within the 6 feet thing. I'm way farther than 6 feet away from these people, so for me to wear a mask is ridiculous. So yeah, Christmas, not a big deal here. Businesses decorate, they try to get you to shop. That's really all it is. We're gonna keep this video high and tight, short and short. What else? Don't be stingy.